Hi everyone, welcome to analysis comp number 30. I'm going to let you watch this clip and in particular the driver of the Golf on the right now. I'll talk about a few points shortly. How did you see this one? For a change, I'll be concentrating on analysing what my viewer did well. This clip's from Smiler Bob, one of my regular viewers, and I think there are some important points that I need to highlight on how Bob de-escalated a potentially tricky situation. I think it starts off with the driver of this Golf thinking Bob should have let them go. But have a look, there's no one behind. It was the perfect option just to keep going. But the plum in the Golf's already flashing the lights. Bob also does a great job by hanging back from the vehicle in front. This allows him space to do this shorter merge, but be careful if you have an unintelligent driver behind like the one we've got, because that could increase their annoyance. Just be ready to adapt further. Now the beeping starts. This is the part that I'm really bad at. I'll end up glaring at him in my mirror. But seriously, try not to. Just try and act as though they're invisible. It's the best plan. Bob spots his gaps on the way and gets on with things. The extra little right signal there helped, and now, when they overtake, don't even look at them. Again, something that I'm terrible at. Now for a quick analysis of the driver of the Golf. On your marks, get set, terrible. Well done, Bob. Like seeing driving like this. Make things better, not worse. Cars are expensive pieces of kit, and the higher up that sort of like expense ladder you go, the more you're likely to lose if you don't check out the history of a vehicle that you're potentially going to purchase. This R8 in this car vertical report is an absolute beast. Well, it probably would have been prior to its collision. It looks as though it's actually been rolled as well, because there's damage on all four sides on the top, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was damage underneath as well. The type of garage that you would purchase a vehicle like this from, I'm suspecting, would probably be a higher quality garage. And would that con you into thinking, yeah, it's all fine, it's perfect, even after it's been put back together? Could you end up purchasing a vehicle that previously looked like this? Well, the answer is yes. That's why it's really important to get a car checked out before you spend your money on it. This is where these car vertical reports come in. They're quick and easy to produce, less than 60 seconds after putting in the registration or VIN number, and you'll have a report sent straight to you. So a small added cost prior to purchase to give you that peace of mind, I think, is an important part in your car buying process. Remember, use the code Ashley, go and get your car checked through Car Vertical, and it'll give you that extra peace of mind. Don't forget, it could very well save you an absolute shed load. Thanks, Car Vertical. 5 miles away, this clip's quite a quick one. Again, we're going to watch it first. Watch the oncoming vehicle go through this puddle on the right.
Oh, nice puddle for you though.
Hell! He fully aquaplaned towards us then. I could see it happening as well, hence why I slowed down so much.
However, where you slowed down could have been changed. Pocket of space usually involves vehicles travelling next to us, but in this situation I think it can be applied to the oncoming vehicle that aquaplaned. Let me explain. Any extra space that we have gives us options, and if my viewer had spotted the oncoming vehicle approaching a little bit in relation to the puddle, I think they could have braked a lot more and given themselves more options. My viewer's not travelling quickly and there's a big space behind, and the oncoming car has just come into view. The speed of the oncoming car in relation to yourself and the puddle needs to be assessed quickly though for you to be able to cope with this. Slowing down more, or in fact speeding up more, may very well reduce risk. Here though, with the speed of the oncoming vehicle and the view that we did have, it was a really difficult task. Maybe one for a different situation.
Hell! He fully actually playing towards us then.
And they were also travelling way too quickly for the distance that they could see to be clear. Terrible driving from the BMW driver. Could the same thing that we've just been talking about on the previous clip apply to this one? My viewer's approaching a roundabout and they have a collision with someone entering. Arriving at the same point and the same time is a problem. I thought my viewer initially was doing a really good job, but in the end I think they should have seen that and stopped. All the way on the approach and going round the roundabout, I can't see any right signal flashing. Doesn't mean that there's not one on, but this could have been a little factor in this collision. A right signal does tell the oncoming cars that you're going round in front of them, and from where my viewer is positioned they could have been taking this road in front. However, that's no excuse for the oncoming car's terrible emerge. And this is the vehicle here that we're watching. I actually think my viewer does a good job all up until the last few car lengths. You can see them adjust the speed to not arrive at the same point. But notice where I've paused the footage, one of the headlamps of the car that my viewer collides with can't be seen. There's something that I can't make out for sure what it is that's blocking view. Could this have been the point where this car misses my viewer? This is also the point forward that my viewer should have jumped on the brakes and stopped. It's obviously carrying on. Now have a look to see what I mean about the signal. This left one's really obvious. More arriving at the same point and the same time. Were there any clues to tell you that could happen? Well, again it's a difficult one, but watch the oncoming car. Do they hold back a little further than you would expect them to? Again, I'm not saying anyone could pick up on this, but in a different scenario, getting onto something like this may just give you a preempt. Whenever you're coming through sets of lights, make sure you do have little glances either side. I think my viewer was a touch slow getting onto this also. I also think I would have been a touch slower myself, but it is totally on the shoulders of these two idiots on the scrambler bike. Thankfully, it wasn't a heavy hit. Do you see what I mean about the positioning of this car in front though? A pedestrian nearly gets whacked in this clip. Have a look at the van that turns across my viewer into the McDonald's car park.
Such a big star that women are like, yeah, I'm into it. And the truth is, it might have worked on like a lot of other women, but I appreciate.
The guy in the orange jacket seemed totally unfazed. First of all, I don't think my viewer beckoned or flashed this van across. They seemed to just go for it, and this could be down to the timing of my viewer's signal. If my viewer puts their signal on after this road on the left, the van might react to that and nothing else. And it's this impatience which causes them not to look into the exit road. You would expect at this point all to be good though, but it's not. The van driver accelerates and doesn't seem to see the pedestrian until the last moment. But why? It's again another A-pillar moment, and it didn't help because the pedestrian is actually moving to the right, and as the van driver turns to the right, they stay behind the pillar. The driver of the van also got much less time to deal with this because their speed was way too fast because, like we've said, of their impatience.
Men are like, yeah, I'm into it. And the truth is, it might have worked on like.
That could have easily ended oh so different. We started off this episode with the driver of a Golf who was a problem causer, and we're going to finish the episode in exactly the same way. My viewer in the first clip did a brilliant job, and exactly the same can be said of my viewer in this clip. My viewer's approaching a mini roundabout, and it's a vehicle from the right hand side that cuts across it that's the problem. You can see it here. At the moment it looks as though it's just queuing in traffic. However, it suddenly changes its mind and turns right. It doesn't signal and cuts straight across the roundabout. My viewer susses it out and stops, but then they stop right in front. They're obviously causing problems on purpose. Keep a straight face, say nothing, don't react, act again as if they're invisible.
Okay, so at least I appreciated the fact that I wasn't gonna take that trade. Is he really? Is he really? Is he really?
Great job again, leave yourself space and
At least I
options.
said I'm not taking that trade.
Why was he going to the left of the roundabout when he was turning right on the roundabout?
I don't know.
Gonna go round if he's gonna stop there.
Yeah, go on.
I think my viewer changes their mind to park in because of where these two have parked, and I also think that's a good idea. Now keep an eye on your mirrors and see whether they're going to follow you. And it looks as though they're staying put. The door was open and I think someone was going across to talk to them. If you ever feel threatened, obviously call the police. And try and not box yourself in. Make sure you've got an open, clear road in front of you. Keep safe everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon.